Good evening, everyone. I hope you enjoy the both the days session. Today again we have with us Rahul Tiwari for today's speaker. Rahul ji, please take charge for the session.
All right. All right, guys. So welcome to the session, and today we are going to discuss about one of the interesting stuff, and you will you will see the power of Tableau today. So let's get straight into the problem which we have, and this is the best session I would say because here you can see the power of Tableau, right? How actually parameters and how we can make things dynamic. So here is the problem. You have been approached by a venture capital fund. The board of directors are currently reviewing 1,000 potential interesting startups and deciding on which ones they are going to invest in. The criteria for selecting investment for this fund is the combination of high revenue, low expense, and top growth. That is for year 2015. Your task is to assist the board in identifying which business represent the best investment opportunities. Right, so basically this is what we are looking for. So now if I go and check the data set, you can see that here we have the overview, which consists of the company details, what is the company name, what is the industry, what is the description, all the details. And there is one more table called financials. Here I have ID, name, 2015 revenue, 2015 expense, 2015 profit, 2015 growth, and again we have data set for 2014, 2013 as well. Now here I want to join this two data set. The common column which I have is the ID field. So I have to join that. So I'll connect to Tableau. We have Excel file as a source. So I'll use Excel as a source. And I have this financial table and I will open it and drag overview table as well. Tableau is smart enough, joins on the common column, that is ID. As we discussed in the last session also, join is like there are different types of joins. We'll discuss that maybe in tomorrow's session. But as of now, just try to understand that in both the tables, the common records which I have will get participated based on the ID. So the data is connected and you can see that all the records coming in, all the company details also coming in. I'll go to sheet 1 and in the sheet 1 you can see that we have the data coming in. Here I can see the tables, financials overview, financials overview. Now I have this 2013 financials, 2014 financials, 2015 financials. As per the business problem, I want to work on 2015 financials. So 2013 and 2014 I really don't require. So what I'll do, I'll create a folders. Basically, I can create a folders here. If you see right click, there is an option of folder, which is as of now grayed out. Because the table, the columns are segregated based on the tables. You can see financial table, overview table, financial table, overview table. So it is segregated based on the tables. So I'll go and click on this small drop down and you can see that group by data source table, group by folder. I'll press on this group by folder. Now you can see everything is gone. And now I will create a folder. Right click. There is an option of folder enabled now and create folder. This is helping us to segregate the columns, right? So that there will not be any confusions. So we have 2013 expense coming in here. I'll drag profit also in the folder. I'll drag revenue also in the folder. And I'll close this folder because I really don't want that. Same way, I'll have one more folder. So here we go. Create folder 2014 financials and I'll drag 14. I'll drag 14. I'll drag 14. And I'll close this folder as well because I really don't want this data as well. And finally, if you want, you can create the folder for 15. If not, then also it is fine because this is what I require. So it should fine if I put it here. But let me create the folder also for this as well. So 2015 financials. And I'll drag these columns as well. So the main purpose of this is nothing but just to basically place, or I can say uh, put it better way, like there will not be any confusions, right? So I want to make it better. Now we are looking for what? As per the business problem, we are looking for high revenue, low expense, and top growth for 15. As of now, let's concentrate on the revenue and expense. So I will drag this expense and I will drag this revenue. I am getting the single dot. The reason is that it is the sum of all the companies, because in the last session we discussed about the aggregation granularity, right? As of now, the data is aggregated because I did not put any dimension. I will drag my company name in the details, and now you can see that a beautiful chart is coming up. Sometimes people say that this is not giving me a lot of information. What is this? But this is giving us a lot of information. It is giving me how my data is distributed, right? Here you can see that majority of the companies are at least lying here. So it gives me the idea how my data is distributed. Now, if you remember from the last session that we discussed about the filters. So here, let's say I'm looking for all the companies, or I can say, let's say I'm looking for companies which are top 10 companies. So one functionality we have in the filter, I'll drag this company name in the filter and I will go to top and I'll click on this field top 10 companies by 2015 revenue. I am looking for top 10 companies with 2015 revenue. And I click OK. And these are the top 10 companies which I have based on the revenue. Let me remove this filter. My requirement has changed. What I want is I want top 10 companies in different color. The rest of the companies in different color. So basically I want to highlight the top 10 companies with different color and the rest of the companies in different color. Now how will I do that? There is a concept of sets in Tableau. Sets can be used to solve this problem. I'll go ahead and create a set. I'll right click on the name, create set. I click on this set. I'll go to the top. And then I'll go with top 10 2015 revenue. It's same as filter, but now I'm using set. I'm creating a set. I click OK. You can see a name set coming in. What I created a set on the name column. And I selected top 10 by 2015 revenue. Now when I drag this in the colors, because I want to show in different colors, right? So I will drag this name set in the colors. You can see that I have top 10 companies in different color. Rest of the 990 companies in different color. So it is showing me only top 10 companies in blue color. I can change the shape. You can see that these are my top 10 companies and the gray ones are my rest of the companies. And that is what one interesting feature we have in Tableau, that is a set concept. Now one more interesting thing here. I want to make it dynamic. Business says that I am looking for the companies which are greater than 8 million of revenues. That means I am looking for the company which are greater than 8 million of revenue. Now how can we do that? Basically, I want to give user an option. Suppose user selects 8, then it will give me all the companies with 8. Suppose user selects 10, it will give me all the companies with 10, and so on. So I want to make it dynamic. So when I want to make things dynamic, I have the parameter option. I'll create a parameter. I'll right click, create parameter, and I'll go to the range. I'll go to the field and I will select the range in the revenue, 2015 revenue. It will give me the minimum and the maximum value of my revenue column. Now let me make it round off. Let me make it 155 times 0. Same way here I'll give, let's say, 175 and 5 times 0. And let's say I'm giving a step size of 10 lakh. Let's give the name as revenue parameter and click OK. Right click, show parameter control. Here I can change the values. Suppose I am selecting 85. So it should give me all the companies greater than 85 million. Or I can say 8.5 million, right? Not 85, 8.5 million. But this parameter is a standalone object which I have to tag with the set today. So I'll go to the name set, edit, and this top will not work now because you are not. If I am calling parameter here, ref par, then it is saying top 8.5 million revenue. This is not top, right? I want all the companies greater than 8.5 million revenue. So this top condition will not come. I'll make it none. I'll go to the condition and apply a formula. The formula will be sum of revenue of 2015 should be greater than revenue parameter. Now what is the value of revenue parameter? The value of revenue parameter is 8.5 million. So it will give me all the companies greater than 8.5 million. Let me click OK. You see, let me change this. You see, whatever value I'm selecting, it is changing accordingly. Now business like this outcome. Now they say that, okay, do one thing, do the same for the expense as well. I want all the companies which is expense less than any certain number which I will pass. So I will create one more parameter and I can create a parameter directly from here also. 2015 expense, right click, create parameter. You will see that the minimum and the maximum value comes in. Let me make round off. Let's say 125 and 5 times 0 and a step size of, let's pick 10 lakh here also and click OK. This is my second parameter, which is again as of now it is not doing anything till the time I will tag this with my set. I'll create a set. Let me create the set again, and this set will be, this time I'll go and write a condition. Sum of revenue, sorry, now here we are talking about expense. So sum of expense less than 2015 expense parameter, and click OK. I will drag this in color. You can see that it is showing me all the companies less than that number. So you can see that it is getting dynamic now. But there is one problem which I see. The problem is that when I'm dragging my first set, my other set is going off, right? When I'm dragging the first set, the other set is going off. But I want both the sets. Basically, what I want is I want company greater than 8.5 million of revenue and expense less than 4125000, which is nothing but I want these companies. Approximately, I want these companies. Now, what should we do now? Because they are looking for two conditions, right? And for that, there is a concept of combined set. I want to combine the sets. I click on this set, right click, there is an option of create combined set. I click on this combined set and you will see one option here, create combined set, and you can see one option here. It is helping me to combine both the sets. Now what I'm looking for, I'm looking for all the companies greater than 8.5 million and less than 4125000 expense. So I want the common records, basically shared members, greater than this and less than this, greater than this and less than this, right? So it's a common records. I click OK and drag this set one in the color. And you can see that I'm getting only those companies which are meeting the criteria, both the criteria. The first criteria is revenue greater than 8.5 million, and the second criteria is expense less than 4125. And now when I change this parameter, this value will change automatically. Everything is now dynamic. Now, if you guys know about the quadrant, so good companies are in the top right quadrant. Now, these are my good companies because these are meeting the criteria. So I want to make this in top right quadrant. Now, how will I do that? I will change the axis. I will right click here, edit axis, because I want this part at the top right corner. So right click, edit axis and reverse. And now my top companies are on top right. I'll right click on here. One more thing, one more interesting thing I will show you. Add reference line. And I will call the parameter, revenue parameter. You can see that now my reference line is also changing. Same way here also I'll add a reference line and call the parameter. You can see the lines are changing. So now this is my quadrant where I have the good companies at the right top, and these are my companies which I am not interested in. Because business says that I want all the companies greater than 8.5 million and less than 5,125,000, or I can say 5.1 million approximately. So that is how we made the dynamic scatter plot. Now here, as of now, we spoke about top growth. We spoke about, sorry, we spoke about revenue and expense. We are still looking for top growth. That is still pending. So what I'll do, I'll create one more set which will going to talk about the growth. So I'll create one more set on the name, and I will say, okay, I want top n. I can create one more parameter. I can create a parameter from here directly. I can give user an option to choose the companies from 10 to 100. Top 10 company, top 20 company, top 30 company, and so on till 100. Top 10 companies by 2015 growth. And if I drag this in color, you can see that these are my top 10 companies by growth. Let me call the parameter. You can see when I'm changing, my top growth companies are changing. But the problem remains the same. The problem is that when I'm dragging my combined set, it is coming in. But when I'm dragging my set 1, sorry, name set 3, which is my growth set, it is coming in. The combined set is going off. Now, how will I take care of that? I can create one more combined set, but I can do one more thing. I will click on this name set 3. I will press control and I will click on set 1, and then I will leave control button, and then I will drag this both together by pressing the shift button to the color. Now both the sets are in color. You can see here. Set 3 and set 1. Set 3 is my top growth. Set 1 is my revenue. Sorry, the combined set, revenue and expense. Now these are my best companies. Out of that, these blue ones are my high growth companies. And these other companies are of no use. So what I will do, I will go edit color. This out is of no use. Let me make it gray. In out is of no use. Let me make it gray. You can see that now the orange companies are the companies which are like falling in the target quadrant, and this blue colors are the companies which are falling in the top growth in that target quadrant. There are other companies as well which are falling in the target quadrant, like which are not falling in the target quadrant but are in the top growth. But these companies are of no use because these companies are not falling in the target quadrant for me, and I am not really interested in that company. So now this is what my final chart is, where I can see that orange companies are the companies which are falling in the target quadrant, and blue companies are the companies which are top growth in that target quadrant. So this is my final chart. Now what we want to do is, I will create one more chart where I will show you that we can use, let me drag the company name and let me drag the growth in the text, and let me put that in color table. Darker the color, that means more growth I have. Lighter the color, that means less growth I have. Now here I will use this set 3 and put it in filter. Let me call the parameter as well. So basically it is giving me the top companies. So the purpose here to show you that is basically I can create a set as a filter also. I can put the set as a filter also. Now I will create a dashboard where I'll put both these charts. So I'll go to the dashboard, drag my first sheet, and go to the dashboard and drag my second sheet as well. I can give the name of this sheet, let's say target quadrant or something. And give the name of the second sheet as, let's say, top N companies. Now business says that top n companies. Can you make change to that? How many companies have you selected? I selected 10 companies. So can you write here top 10 companies rather than top n companies? Suppose I'm making it to 20. It should say top 20 companies. So basically it is automatically should change. So I'll double click here. I'll remove this n and I will insert the parameter. You can see that now it is top 20. When I change it, it will say top 40, top 20, top 10. Dynamically, it will change. So my labels are changing dynamically as well. And that is what the power of parameter is. So here in this business problem, we discussed about sets and parameters and how we can make parameters and sets combination to make things dynamic for me. We discussed about the sets. We discussed about the combined sets where I can combine two sets and make it a single set. We discussed about how we can use sets in the filters. And also we discussed about how we can make the changes in the label or the sheet name dynamically using the parameters. And also we discussed about this reference line. This reference line is also dynamic. It is moving as per my parameter. The value changing, the parameter changing, the line is changing. So everything is dynamic here. And you can see the power of Tableau here, like how connecting with parameter, we are actually making things dynamic. So here we solve this problem. Now let's solve one more problem where we'll talk about some more stuffs. You have been hired by the supermarket in Europe as a Tableau developer. Your first assignment is to deliver a dashboard with a map view of profit margin and a scatter plot. This is what we already did, not this one. I'll open up one more. All right. So you have been hired by the bank in UK as a Tableau developer. Your first assignment is to deliver a customer segmentation dashboard with map view of customers by state and show the distribution of customers by age and bank balance. Also create a donut chart that provides the percentage of customers by gender. Show a data distribution based on different jobs. So as of now, today we'll just talk about this part and tomorrow we'll talk about this other part. So the data set which we have is Here is the data set which has customer ID, name, surname, gender, age, region, job classification, date joined, bank balance. I'll connect this data set with Tableau. Now this data set which we have is in the Excel format, or it is in a CSV format, comma separated value file. So it's a text file. So I'll connect Tableau with a text file. And here is my data set. Now I'll go to the sheet 1. One thing you will see that my first chart which I want to create is a map chart. I want to create a map chart. But to create a map chart, if you guys remember in the last session we discussed that we require a geographic dimension, and I don't have any geographic dimension out here. So if I click on my data source, you can see that this is my geographic dimension basically. But as my column name is region, Tableau is not able to understand that it is a geographic dimension. It is a states in United Kingdom. So now I have to change this to geographic dimension manually. I'll click on this ABC geographic role and I'll say state and province, because these are my states and province in United Kingdom. So I have to explicitly manually do that and tell Tableau that this is nothing but my state and province. Now you can see that I get a globe, and you can also see that I have the latitude, longitude also coming in, generated by Tableau. Now I can drag this region in the center. You can see that there are 4 unknowns. 4 unknowns are there. The reason is that Tableau by default takes the current country. I am connected to Indian server, so it is considering India. And in India, it is looking for England. So I have to tell Tableau that this is not India. I have to say that it is United Kingdom. So I'll go to this 4 unknowns, click on this, edit locations, and I will click here India. I will make it as United Kingdom. You can see that we have the 4 dots coming in. We have 4 states in United Kingdom, the data we have. Now what I'm looking for, I'm looking for how many customers are there. in United Kingdom, all these states. I will drag this. This is the field by default comes with Tableau. When you connect with any data, you can see this count, right? This will give you the count. I'll drag it in the color. You can see that it is showing me the color. Darker the color, that means more customers. You can see here I have 2157 customers. In the Scotland, we have 1124 customers, and so on. I can drag this count in the label also. I'll drag this count in the label also, so that it will give me the label. And we are done. That is my first map, which is showing me number of customers across the different states. Second chart which we have to create is customer distribution by age and bank balance. How many customers are belonging to one age group? If you remember in our school days, we studied about histograms, frequency distribution. Now, for that, if I want to create this thing, what do you say? The histogram, I have a concept of bin. I'll right click on the age, create. There is a concept of bins. Bins is like a bucket. I want to create a bucket. I click on the bins. And I will make this as, let's say, bin size of 5. Now I can see that the bin is there, and we have, let's say, how many customers I have. So these many customers I have. Now here it is showing me how many customers I have. Like from here, I can clearly say that majority of my customers are falling between 30 to 39 years of age, which is giving me good insight, right? Now here, what is the bin size I selected? The bin size which I selected is 5. If you see here, I did 5. I want to make it dynamic. I will create a parameter. And let's say I'm giving the value. Let's say my bin size will be 5 till 30 and step size of 5. What is the step size? Basically, it is user will get an option to choose from 5, 10, 15, 20, a jump of 5. This step size is nothing but 5. The jump. So user will get a chance to choose a value either 5 or 10. Suppose I'm making my step size as 2. So user will get an option as 5, 7, 9, 11 like that. 2 jump. Right? I'm making it 5. So user will get a chance to choose the bin size from 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I click OK. Click OK. Right click. Show parameter control. and you can see that my chart is changing. My bin size is changing. Everything is getting dynamic with the power of parameter. So this is showing me the distribution of the customers by age. From here, I can say that majority of my customers are from 30 to 39 years of the age. Same way I want to do for the bank balance as well. So I'll create a bin for bank balance. Let's give the bin size. Again, I'll use the parameter if you want. I will change the I have to create a new parameter for the bank balance. Let's say I'm giving 2000 and 12,000 and the step size of, let's say, 2000. Click OK. Click OK. And let me create my bank balance bin. Drag the number of customers and call the bin, call the parameter. You can see that it is dynamic. So with the power of parameter, we are able to actually make things dynamic. Here I did the histogram as dynamic. In the last example, we saw how we can use sets to make set dynamic to have a better visualizations. Now my both the histograms are done. So I created the histogram. I created the map. Now I want to create a donut chart for genders. How many males are there? How many females are there? So I'll go ahead and create one more chart. Now in Tableau, donut chart is not there. Pie chart is there, but donut chart option is not there. That means I require some trick. In Power BI, you will get an option directly to have the donut chart. But here in pie chart, sorry, in Tableau, if you want to create a donut chart, we have to go with a trick. We have to create. We have to have a trick to create that. How can we do that? I will first drag gender. I will drag how many customers are there, and I will create a pie chart. This is my pie chart. Basically, donut chart is what? Donut chart is nothing but something like a circle in between, right? Something like a circle in between, and this circle is like colored circle. So it's like a ring. It's like a ring which we have to create. Something like a ring, and I'll have the white color in the ring so that it will look like a ring. This will be entirely white. So basically what I want to do is I want to actually put one circle on top of this pie chart. As simple as that. I want to put a circle on top of this pie chart so that it will look like a donut chart. Something like this we have to do. But how can we do that? I will create one calculated field and let's give the name as donut. You can give any name. There is no restriction to that. I am giving donut. Let's give this as number 0. It's a dummy field which I am creating. Sum of 0 is 0. Average of 0 is 0. And so on. So it's a dummy field which I am creating. I will drag this dummy field on rows and I will drag this dummy field again on rows. So now you have two pie charts basically. Now what I will do, there is a concept of what is it? This thing, dual axis. I can put this chart on top of this chart. What I will do, I will increase this pie chart. I will increase the size of this pie. I will remove everything from here. I'll make it as circle and put this circle on top of the pie. That is what my aim is. You can see that we have two options: all, donut, donut. This donut is the property of above pi and this donut is the property of below pi. Now what I want is I want to remove all the properties. I want to remove all the properties of the below pi. And I will make this as white color. And I will go to the above donut and increase the size of this donut. And now what I will do is I'll put this circle on top of this pi. Drop down, dual axis. Now you can see that it is a donut chart. I can increase the size. I can adjust that. Whatever you want, we can make it. It's a donut chart. Actually, it is a pie only. But on top of that, I put the circle to make it as donut. Now what I'll do, I'll go to my gender and put this in the label, in the above, the below pi basically. Because the below pi, the granularity is what? Granularity is at the gender level. So it will show me the gender. I'll drag the count also in the label so that I'll get the counts also. How many males are there, how many females are there. I'll go to the above donut and put the count as well, which will give me total count. Sum of male and female. Because here the granularity is not gender. Here there is no granularity. No granularity, that means it will give me the total value. Total value is nothing but 4010. Total customers are 4010. Maybe I can go to the label, try to increase the font. You can see that now it is highlighted. I want to make this gender, which is female and male, the percentage. How many females are there? How many males are there? The percentage I'm looking for. I'll go to this donut again, the below pie, and make this text as quick table calculation percentage of total. I want to make it 2 decimal places. I can go to this format and let's make this as percentage with 2 decimal. It will go here percentage with 2 decimal. So here we have 53.92 and 46.08. Now, the last chart which we have to create is show the distribution by jobs. There are various different jobs in there. Which customer has which type of job? I'll drag this job classification and drag number of customers in the column, and let's make it as maybe a tree map. IT professional, marketing professional, banking professionals. So all the charts are ready now. I'll go to the dashboard and drag all the charts. Let's adjust the size and all so that there will not be any adjustment issues. Let me make it automatic. So there's my chart. Just reduce the size a bit here. Little bit of adjustment is required. Then this, maybe we can have this chart. I'll drag this below and then I'll drag other charts. Let me drag the parameter below that chart and one more. Drag the pie chart. In the yesterday session, we put only 2 charts. Now you can see that we are putting lot many charts. And I'll have the tree map as well. I am giving a good space to the map chart because I want my map to be the driving factor. If anyone selects any of the states, then it will change all the other charts. Something like that I want. I can go to the map and I will go ahead and go to map layers and make it wash out 100% so that I will get only those lines which I am interested in. Now I will apply the action filter. I can give the dashboard title also, customer segmentation dashboard, and click OK. Just have to adjust the size a bit. Alright, so this is my chart. Now what I want is let me put the label also. Now what I want is I want to click England. My other chart should change. So I'll use action filter. We discussed that in the last session. You can see other charts are changing. Also, let's say I want to click on England and then I want to click on IT professional, right? I want to drill down further. So I'll make this also as action filter. So you can see 2157. So there are 1149. You can see 2157 here also. 1149 are my IT professional. When we click on this 1149, you can see this is also changed 1149. So now it is showing me the data for what? It is showing me the data for England's IT professional. So that gives me a good, what do you say, good drill down capability, right? So that is the benefit of dashboarding. Basically, it is an interactive dashboard. You can see here, as per the business problem, create an interactive dashboard. Now there is a concept of story as well. If you see this third button, you can see this is my story. I can have multiple pages. Let's say I'll create one more page. Let's say first page is talking about overview. Second page is talking about, let's say, England. Let me remove this IT professional filter, England. This is my overview. This is my England. Then we have Scotland. Then we have Wales. And we have North Ireland. So now it is giving me a capability. Without clicking, I can tell a story. Basically, I'll put this in a full screen mode. And now we can tell a story, right? Obviously, we have to adjust the charts and all. As of now, the pie chart is cutting. But just an idea. This is my overview of the business. I see that more number of customers are there in England. After that, I see the customers in Scotland and then Wales and North Ireland. Majority of the population are at the 30 to 39 years of age. Approximately 50% males and females are there. IT professionals are more and all have the low bank balance. If I go further deeper into the data, in England, we have majority of the customers with 30 to 39 years of age. IT professionals are more. Male females are 50%. If I go to Scotland, I see a bit different scenario. The age is around 40 plus. The jobs are banking professional and marketing more as compared to IT professional. Males are 72%. You can see that. Bank balance are at the lower side. If I go to the Wales, in the Wales again I see that the age is around 30 to 39 years of age. IT professionals are more. Male females are approximately 50% and bank balance is at the lower side. And when I talk about the North Ireland, the scenario is a bit different. Female are more. 75% are female at the lower age. Marketing professionals are more, and bank balance is at the lower side. So you can see here without actually clicking, the main purpose of the story is that to tell a story to the business. What you are understanding from the data. But for the purpose of what is the purpose of dashboard? The purpose of dashboard is to basically do clicks and try to get insights from the clicks. After every click, we'll get some insight. So both has this own purpose. For if you want to use story, the story is basically used for telling a story to the end user where he doesn't want to explore. We just have to tell them the story. And dashboarding is basically I want to explore by myself to get insights from the data. I can do that. That is how it works. And here we stop today. Any questions you have, please let me know. In the first business case, can we show the count of companies in a scatter diagram dynamically? We can create one more chart. Not in the same chart, we can create one more chart to get the count. And put that in the dashboard. You can try from your side. It is possible, absolutely. These are not that. These are like if you want to create more sheets, you can create that. If you want to create more dashboards, you can create that. If you want to create more story, you can create that. All right, so this is what I have. I'll hand over to the organizer.
Tiwari sir?
Yeah, I'm done.
सर क्वेश्चन है सर.
हाँ ले लिए मैंने.
Okay sir.
Create. How do you create a new field? So I can create a new field by creating a new calculated field, right? So you can connect to any data, create a calculated field. You can create the field based on the logic. Which chart to use? So this is the, I'll share this PPT or I can share one link which will help you. So this gives you a suggestion that which type of chart we have to use where. If I'm talking about distribution, then pie chart, scatter plot, histogram comes in. If I want to create a composition, then pie chart, then stack bar chart, area chart. If I want to create a relationship, then scatter plot and a bubble chart. If I want to create a comparison, then bar charts, line charts. This type of chart we can use. So you can Google, you will get this sheet. All right. Okay, so this is what I have. Thank you. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rahul, for the wonderful session. On behalf of WSI, I thank you all the participants and you for the for this session. And with this, we will wrap up today's session.